The NFL Today on CBS Sports is presented by Ram. The NFL Today on CBS Sports is presented by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
And welcome back to the NFL Today. And now Amazon takes you out to the sights and sounds of the game between the Steelers and the Ravens. Let's get you out to Baltimore with our announcers, Jim Nance, Tony Romo, and Tracy Wolfson.
JP, it's a true rivalry. Yes, indeed. The toughest team wins. What a game it's going to be here. First place in the AFC North on the line. The undefeated Steelers, the last unbeaten team, taking on the two-time defending AFC North champion, Baltimore Ravens. Hello, friends. Jim Nance and Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson. Look forward to presenting this game to you. And yes, you look back since the Ravens came here to Charm City. That rivalry in the regular season. Look how closely matched it is. Separated by a grand total of 7 points aggregate. It's just amazing. You know, a year ago, Baltimore swept the games, Tony, the two against Pittsburgh. Steelers were without Roethlisberger for those games, but this is as good as it gets.
It is, and you talk about it. Everyone knows about this history, right? It's the rivalry. It's like smash mouth football. This is defense. This is run the football. And with it being wet today, this is going to be about the ball. You cannot turn the ball over and give a short field. Otherwise, this thing always comes down to one possession, Jim. It's going to come down to the end.
I mentioned Ben. He told us how much he missed this rivalry in the two occasions last year being injured.
He did, and, you know, he respects the Ravens. He doesn't like coming to play here because they're good, but he says it's very rewarding when you can go on the road and beat a team that you know is this well coached and has a chance to, you know, win the Super Bowl. Both these teams really do, especially right now. They look like two of the top four.
And they got great defenses. The Steelers front seven, very dynamic. The guys on the edge like Dupree and Watt, they can bring it.
They can, and you're exactly right. This front seven is outstanding, probably the best in ball. And on the edge, Bud Dupree, TJ Watt, they're relentless. It's a run, set the edge. Nope, now get after the quarterback, and they won't stop. And it helps a lot when you have these guys in the middle. Tuitt, Hayward, and even Alau. They push the pocket, Jim, and they collapse it. It's hard on quarterbacks. You've got to stay in phase, and I really believe Baltimore needs to run the ball for at least 4 yards on first down consistently to move the chains.
Well, the Ravens have a great defense as well, but let's talk about Lamar Jackson, the MVP a year ago. This team off to a 5-1 start. Their last game, they had a bye last week. He rushed for over 100 in a win against Philadelphia.
Yes, and everyone talks about it like, oh, what's going on? He's not quite the same as he was with the MVP season last year. And I'm like, well, nobody has an MVP season every year. And I think what you're finding is just a few different guys on that team. Marshall Yanda retired, lose a guy over here. Everyone studies you in the offseason, and all of a sudden it's a little harder. But they're really good. He's a 5-1 quarterback, and I think they're only going to get better.
Well, during the bye week, they went out and got Yannick Ngakoue, who had just a short stint up in Minnesota. You remember him from his days in Jacksonville. Saxonville, they called it, when he teamed up with Calais Campbell. And now they got those two quarterback rushers all teamed up here in Baltimore.
Yeah, and that's an outstanding job before the trade deadline. Going in there and getting Ngakoue, really. You know, Campbell's been here. Getting Ngakoue changes things. They needed that speed on the edge. They're going to use him in the passing situations, and they're going to get him after the quarterback. I mean, this guy has 5 sacks. We're acting like he wasn't playing well or something. He's playing at a very high level still.
It's time to do projects smarter by the Home Depot. Talk about high level, Tony. How about the top targets for the quarterbacks?
Well, Juju Smith-Schuster, everyone knows about him. He does all the little stuff that winning players and winning teams do. He catches the stuff inside, third down packages, blocks on the edge, all the stuff you need.
And Mark Andrews.
Well, he's the number one option, Jim. Look for him in the passing game. That's the guy that Jackson looks to over and over again. You got to stop him when they play action. He's a big target.
And, Tony, your game points, the Steelers beat the blitz.
They have to beat the blitz. No one blitzes more than this team. Today, the Ravens, 2 of the best in the league at blitzing, and you have to get the ball down the field today. I really believe you have to throw it over the top of this Ravens defense.
And the Ravens must create big plays, you say.
Yeah, but that all starts with this one play up the middle. The Ravens need to get that little 3-4 yard dive play, and then everything comes from that. Otherwise, I don't see many teams going 12 plays in this weather today, do you?
No, I don't, but hopefully it'll clear by the second half. The rain's been coming down here for about 3 hours, but we're just minutes away from kickoff. Can't wait. Can't wait. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, heading your way on CBS. 25th time in the regular season, third most all time. Harbaugh and Tomlin will meet as the Ravens host the Steelers coming up on CBS.